Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Welcome to all for this session on Ramayana to chapter 58 of Ayodhya Kanda. Now Sumantra, having returned after leaving Rama, who crossed the Ganga, river Ganga, and went deep into the forest, Sumantra, on reaching back to Ayodhya, passed on the message, told the message of Rama to both King Dasharatha and Kaushalya, but made Kaushalya to go deep into the distress, and even the king fell unconscious. The king, recovering consciousness after a while, summoned the royal charioteer and turned his gaze upon him. Sumantra reverently approached the aged monarch, who was grieving and restless, and sighing heavily like a newly captured elephant. Then the afflicted sovereign spoke to Sumantra, who was most miserable, his body covered with dust, his eyes suffused with tears, and said, O charioteer, that virtuous one, worthy of every comfort and happiness, will now be seeking refuge under a tree. Oh, what will be his food? How will Rama, the son of King Dasharatha, who merits no suffering, who is worthy of resting on a royal couch, sleep as one orphaned on the bare earth? How can that prince, formerly accompanied by soldiers and elephants, and whose chariot was drawn by matchless steeds, now sleep on the lonely forest? How will Rama and Sita be able to dwell in the forest abounding with pythons and other wild beasts? O Sumantra, how can the tender and sorrow stricken Sita, with the two princes abandoning the chariot, walk barefooted in the forest? O charioteer, you are fortunate in that you have seen the two princes wandering in the forest like the Ashwini Kumaras on the mountain Mandara. O Sumantra, when they entered the forest, what did Rama say? What did Lakshmana say? What did Sita say? O charioteer, tell me fully of Rama's dwelling, his sleeping, and his eating. Thus shall I live a little longer, like King Yayati of old on hearing the words of the sadhus. Thus questioned by his royal master, Sumantra, his throat choked, his speech broken by sobs, replied, O great king, Sri Rama, the upholder of righteousness, reverently joining his palms and bowing his head, he said, on my command, offer salutations again and again to the most praiseworthy sovereign, renowned far and wide in the world as highly virtuous, and to all the men and women of the inner apartment, carry tidings of my welfare with salutations befitting their rank. Convey the news of my welfare to my mother Kaushalya with my deepest respect and admonish her not to neglect her duty. Let her practice dharma and tend the sacrificial pavilion. Say to her, O goddess, honor the king, my father, as you would to God. Abandoning family pride and royal prerogatives, serve my other mothers alternate attentively. Kaikeyi is the king's favorite. Do yourself attend to her as to the king himself. O king, Sri Rama has instructed Prince Bharata thus. Let it be known to the prince that I am well and instruct him to treat all his mothers with justice. Tell the illustrious Prince Bharata that though regent, he must continue in obedience to his royal father. The king is far advanced in years. Let not Prince Bharata proclaim himself king. Let him obey the king and act as co-adjutor. Sri Rama charged me with tears, saying, "Let Bharata look upon my beloved mother as his own." The mighty, armed, and highly illustrious Rama of lotus eyes, addressing me thus, wept aloud. Then Sri Lakshmana, growing wrath and sighing heavily, said, "What fault has this noble prince committed to be exiled? Assuredly, the king has agreed to the foolish desire of Queen Kaikeyi, granting her boons without considering if they were proper or improper, through which we are all involved in misery. If Rama has suffered exile to satisfy the stupidity of Queen Kaikeyi, then assuredly it is an evil act. Even if the gods decreed the exile of Rama, I see no reason for it. Acting with imperfect understanding, the king, regardless of the consequences, has banished Rama, which will surely cause him untold suffering. I see no parental affection in the king. To me, Sri Ramachandra is brother, my master, relative, and father. The darling of the whole world, Sri Ramachandra, devoted to the good of all, has been banished. How can the people approve this act? Having, in opposition to the will of the people, exiled Sri Ramachandra, who is virtuous and beloved, how can he claim to be a king? The sagacious Janaki, O king, stood mute, her eyes fixed and vacant, like one possessed by a spirit. That illustrious daughter of Janaka, unacquainted with suffering, wept with grief and was unable to speak. Seeing the countenance of her lord wet with tears, her mouth became parched, and gazing at me, she wept bitterly. Thus Sri Rama, his face drawn with grief, supported by Lakshmana, addressed me seated in the royal chariot, while the ascetic Sita fixed her gaze on me in silence. Thus ended chapter 58 of Ayodhya Kanda in Ramayana. Namaste Sharada Devi, Kashmira Puravasini, Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam, Vidya Danancha Dehime. Bye.